What if the gap between the rich and the poor had nothing to do with luck, intelligence, or where you were born? What if it came down to something far simpler, yet far more powerful? Daily habits. That is the truth that most people never want to accept, because accepting it means taking full ownership of where you are right now. Jim Rohn, one of the greatest financial philosophers who ever lived, built his entire life philosophy around one powerful idea: success leaves clues. Wealth is not an accident. It is not a lottery ticket or a fortunate inheritance. It is the direct result of consistent, intentional behaviors practiced every single day over months, years, and decades. Rich people do not stumble into financial freedom. They build it, brick by brick, through habits that most people overlook, underestimate, or simply refuse to start. Today we are going to change that. Now, let's talk about the first and perhaps most powerful habit that separates the wealthy from everyone else: self-education and continuous learning. Jim Rohn said it best: "Formal education makes you a living, but self-education makes you a fortune." Think about that for a moment. School teaches you how to work for money, but the books you read after graduation, the seminars you attend, the mentors you seek out, those are the things that teach you how to make money work for you. Wealthy people treat their mind like a bank account. They invest in it daily. Warren Buffett reads 5 to 6 hours every single day. Bill Gates finishes roughly 50 books every year. This is not a coincidence. Knowledge compounds just like interest does. Every idea you absorb today becomes the foundation for a better financial decision tomorrow. Your library is your greatest wealth-building tool. Now that your mind is being sharpened through continuous learning, it needs a target to aim at. This is where goal setting becomes a game changer. Wealthy individuals do not just think about their goals, they write them down, they review them every single morning. They build their entire lifestyle, their schedule, their decisions, and their relationships around a clearly defined financial vision. Jim Rohn taught that if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you will fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. Without a written goal, you are not moving forward. You are simply drifting. The wind blows and you go wherever it takes you. But when you have a clear financial destination, every decision becomes intentional. Ask yourself right now, where do you want to be financially in 5 years? If you cannot answer that, your money has no direction either. Now that you have a clear vision and written goals guiding your financial journey, the next critical habit separates those who accumulate wealth from those who simply earn and spend. Jim Rohn taught a principle so simple yet so powerful that most people ignore it entirely. Live below your means and pay yourself first. Before you pay your bills, before you buy groceries, before you spend a single dollar on entertainment, set aside at least 10% of everything you earn. This is not optional if wealth is your destination. The average person spends first and saves whatever remains, which is usually nothing. Wealthy individuals reverse this completely. They save first and live on the rest. Over time, this disciplined habit creates a financial foundation that grows through compounding interest and smart investment. It is not about how much you earn, but how much you consistently keep and protect. Now, here is where the wealthy truly separate themselves from the average person. Rich people never rely on a single source of income. While most people trade their time for one paycheck and pray it never stops, wealthy individuals build multiple streams that flow simultaneously. Jim Rohn understood this deeply. He taught that you must make your money work harder than you do. That means investing in stocks, real estate, and businesses. It means creating assets that generate income, whether you are awake or asleep. The average person sells 40 hours a week and calls it financial security. The wealthy person builds systems, acquires assets, and lets compounding do the heavy lifting over time. Think about it this way. One stream can dry up overnight, but 5 streams, 10 streams, that is financial resilience. That is true freedom. Start asking yourself not just how you can earn more, but how you can build more. Now let us talk about one of the most underestimated forces shaping your financial life, and that is the people around you. Jim Rohn said it best with one of the most quoted lines in personal development history. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Read that again and let it sink in deeply. Look around at your closest circle right now. Are those people talking about investments, opportunities and growth? Or are they complaining, settling, and making excuses for staying broke? Your environment is either your greatest asset or your greatest liability. Wealthy people deliberately seek out mentors, mastermind groups, and ambitious individuals who challenge and elevate their thinking. They understand that proximity to success is not accidental, but intentional. If your current circle is comfortable with mediocrity, you will unconsciously absorb that standard. Upgrade your associations, and you will begin upgrading your entire financial reality without even realizing it is happening. Now, here is where most people get uncomfortable, and it is exactly where the wealthy get empowered. Rich people take 100% personal responsibility for their financial situation. No excuses, no blame, no pointing fingers at the economy, the government, or bad timing. Jim Rohn was crystal clear on this principle. He said that if you do not like how things are, change them. You are not a tree. The wealthy understand something profound that most people never accept. Your bank account is a mirror. It reflects every choice you have made, every discipline you have practiced, and every decision you have avoided over the years. When you stop blaming outside forces and start owning your results completely, something powerful shifts inside you. Responsibility becomes your greatest asset. Because the moment you accept that you created your current reality, you also accept that you have the power to create a different one. Now let us talk about one of the most powerful separators between the wealthy and the struggling delayed gratification. Average people live by a dangerous philosophy: spend today and worry about tomorrow. They buy the newest phone, take the vacation they cannot afford, and finance a lifestyle built on instant pleasure. But wealthy individuals operate from a completely different mindset. They ask themselves one critical question before every financial decision: will this serve my future or just my present comfort? Jim Rohn taught that every dollar you spend today is a seed you are choosing not to plant. The rich plant seeds consistently, even when it is uncomfortable, even when it requires sacrifice. They drive modest cars while building empires. They skip short-term luxuries to secure long-term freedom. This is not about deprivation. It is about vision. When you can see your future clearly enough, saying no to small pleasures becomes surprisingly easy. Now let us talk about something most financial gurus overlook: your health. Jim Rohn was crystal clear on this. Your body is your most valuable business asset. Without energy, without vitality, without physical discipline, your ability to build wealth becomes severely limited. Think about it this way: you cannot pour from an empty cup. If you are constantly exhausted, sick, or mentally foggy, no amount of financial strategy will save you. The wealthy understand that peak performance requires a healthy vessel. Jim Rohn practiced daily exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate rest, not as luxury habits, but as non-negotiable disciplines. He believed a disciplined body trains a disciplined mind, and a disciplined mind builds disciplined finances. Your energy is your currency. Protect it fiercely. The rich invest in their health because they know that losing it costs far more than maintaining it. Health is not separate from wealth. It is the very foundation of it. Now we arrive at one of the most counterintuitive yet powerful habits of the wealthy: giving generously and doing it consistently. Jim Rohn taught that giving is not something you do after you become rich. It is actually part of how you become rich. Wealthy people tithe, donate, and contribute regularly. Not because someone forces them to, but because they deeply understand a universal principle. The more you give, the more you open yourself up to receive. This is not wishful thinking. It is a mindset rooted in abundance rather than scarcity. When you give freely, you signal to yourself and the world that you believe more is always coming. Average people hold tightly to every dollar out of fear. Rich people release money with intention and trust. Generosity builds character, strengthens relationships, and creates a reputation that attracts opportunities money simply cannot buy directly. A generous spirit is a wealthy spirit. Continuing from generosity, another habit that separates the wealthy from the struggling is consistent action. Rich people never wait for the perfect moment because they understand that the perfect moment simply does not exist. Motion creates momentum, and momentum creates results. Rohn taught that success is not about massive overnight moves, but about small daily disciplines practiced with relentless consistency. Waking up 1 hour earlier, making one extra call, saving $10 more, reading 10 pages daily. These actions seem insignificant alone, but compounded over months and years, they produce extraordinary financial outcomes. The average person waits for conditions to be right before starting. They wait for more money, more time, more confidence. Meanwhile, wealthy individuals start imperfectly and improve along the way. Waiting for perfect conditions is literally the enemy of wealth creation. Every single day you delay is a day of compounding. You permanently lose and can never recover. Wealth is not a secret club reserved for the lucky or the gifted. It is simply the natural result of practicing the right habits consistently, day after day, year after year. Everything we have covered today, from self-education and goal-setting to generosity and consistent action, these are not theories. They are proven disciplines that ordinary people have used to build extraordinary lives. Rohn said it best: "You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction right now. That is all it takes. One decision, one new habit, one step in the right direction starting today." So here is your call to action. Pick one habit from this video and commit to it for the next 30 days. Just one. Because small changes in your daily routine will create massive shifts in your financial future. The direction you choose today becomes the destination you arrive at tomorrow. Start now.